Obesity News with Brian Chung and Natalie Mills.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us. Approximately 1/4 of Canadians are obese, and Canadian obesity rates are still on the rise and a growing concern.
Obesity is having too much body fat, and according to general weight graphs set up by the government, obesity is a BMI of greater than 30. Many factors contributing to this obesity pandemic include convenience of fast food restaurants, physical inactivity, and improper portion sizes amongst children and adults.
Speaking of children, there have been recent reports stating that today's children will become the first generation to have short life expectancies than their parents. Out of the Canadian population, 1 in 11 or 8.6% of children are considered obese. Why is this childhood obesity epidemic occurring? And who is allowing this to happen? Children today are being fed more and more calorie-dense foods without having the adequate amount of physical activity to burn it off. The government, education systems, and parents alike are all responsible for the well-being of our future generation. Let's now take a look at earlier footage captured at the Pickering Town Center with our reporter in field, Kim West.
I'm here at the Pickering Town Center with two UOIT ambassadors, Vic and Drew, who are here to promote Childhood Obesity Awareness Month. Presently, children are spending approximately 6 hours a day in front of the television, on the computer, or on a gaming system, which is equivalent to a 6-hour school day. In addition, they're consuming high caloric foods with sugar, fat, and sodium, which all contribute to large body masses. I'm here with Drew, and he's going to give us an insight on obesity with children. Drew, how many hours should children be physically active a day?
Children should be physically active for about 90 minutes a day. Now, children require more physical activity than adults do. Adults only require about 30 to 60 minutes of physical activity a day to maintain their healthy lifestyle and a healthy weight. Now, physical activity includes anything like jumping rope, going outside for a pickup game of basketball, basically anything that's going to get your heart rate up and it's going to get your body in motion.
Wonderful. And what are the schools doing to implement physical activity and better nutrition for the children?
In grade schools now, they have a 20-minute-a-day mandatory session where kids are taken to do some kind of physical activity. And in high schools now, they're implementing better food choices in cafeteria, putting in fruits and vegetables instead of fat foods, and taking out pop machines and putting in milk and juice machines. Now, through grades 9 and 12, there's only a 1 mandatory credit of gym class. I believe personally that there should be a mandatory credit every year from grades 9 to 12. And doing all of these choices will decrease the childhood obesity rates in our society today.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Drew. And we're going to head over to Victoria and ask her a few more questions about obesity. Victoria, tell me about the Fast Food Society.
Well, fast food is cheap and convenient. It hits the spot. Eating out is the cheapest option, but it's not the healthy one. It has been found that eating one fast food meal can pack enough calories, fat, and sodium fit for an entire day. In our economy, the quick and cheap temptation of fast food is very difficult because there are fast food places everywhere we go that have drive-thrus. We don't have to make a meal, or we don't have to get out of our cars, or if you're running late, drive-thrus are so convenient for everyone, and it's fresh due to the strict health and safety regulations.
Wonderful. And we're going to head over to the survey table and see what's going on over there. Hi, can you tell us your name?
I'm Sean.
Great. And I noticed that you were obviously approached the station over here, and what caught your attention?
Well, I saw I think it was the food guides, so I thought I'd just check that out because I have some kids at home that I like to think about.
Oh, and how many kids do you have?
I've got 3 kids.
Well, it must be a busy household. And how often do you eat out?
We try to eat out, or try not to eat out that often, maybe about 3 times a week.
And what usually, where do you usually go? Fast food or more of like a sit-down place?
No, it's usually fast food. The kids are always bugging us for McDonald's, so it tends to be one of the places we get to. Wendy's, Burger King, that kind of stuff.
Wow. And when you prepare a meal at home, what usually contributes to your decision making when you're preparing the meal? Like time, affordability, actually having a balanced diet for the kids and yourself?
I think the opinion changes a lot, but for my wife, I'd say it's more time. For myself, it's maybe the affordability. So, there's a couple of contributing factors in our family.
And do you find yourself being physically active with the kids, or do you really promote your kids being in physical activities?
I encourage that, and I'm sure they get a lot of that at school. Generally we try to get out there and get active, but there's just not enough time in the day. So.
And in your opinion, how often do you think children should be physically active daily?
I don't know. I probably usually just give them about a half an hour or so a day just to kind of get them out there and get going.
You do know the minimum is 90 minutes for children to be physically active?
I actually didn't know that. I wasn't aware of that.
Well, it's stated in the food guide, and there you go. Thank you so much, Sean, for stopping by. Victoria, can you tell us what's going on at your obesity station today?
All right, well, we have people filling out a survey anonymously about physical activity and proper nutrition. We have a fridge magnet that we're giving away, and this is actually the intake that you should have of cheese per day. And we also are giving away the Canadian food guide. And we also are giving away this is like a cootie catcher for kids, and it just looks like that.
Wonderful, and they just have little things that they can get pointers about physical activity and proper nutrition?
Yes.
Great, and what kind of questions are you asking on the survey?
Well, we're asking about what factors that contributes most to their decision making for making food every day, and majority of the people are saying affordability and time. Another question is, how much physical activity do you think is required to be part of our daily routine for children and youth in general? And pretty much everybody said a minimum 60 minutes, when earlier Drew said it should be a minimum of 90 minutes.
Wonderful. Thank you very much, Victoria. And I'm going to head over to Drew and ask him more about the Canadian food guide. So Drew, what can you tell us about the food guide?
This is the new revised food guide here. It's actually come in a nice handy pamphlet instead of that big piece of paper that we used to have. So when you open it up here, we have the first wheel, and it gives us the proper portion sizes for male and female adults, children, and teenagers. So it's a nice, easy spin wheel. Over here we have other wheels just to keep track of how many portions that you've had a day of each one. And when you open it up, we actually have the portions measured out for each food group: veggies, fruits, grains, milk and alternatives, and meat and alternatives as well. And then when you close it in here, we have some physical activity suggestions just to improve your physical activity and your health.
Wonderful, thank you so much. And there you have it. I'm Kim West reporting for Obesity News. Back to the newsroom.
Thank you for that report, Kim. And within the past 30 years, the percentage of obese adults in the Canadian population has doubled, and the percentage of obese children has increased significantly.
It is estimated that the Canadian healthcare system spends between $4.6 billion and $7.1 billion annually on obesity. These costs are divided evenly between direct and indirect healthcare costs. Direct costs include hospitals or other medical facilities purchasing more large capacity beds and wheelchairs, special scopes, providing medical care for chronic illnesses linked to obesity such as hypertension, cardiovascular disease, and diabetes, among other illnesses. Indirect costs include a loss in productivity of people who are unable to find employment. This is due to their disability of being overweight or obese because they are unable to land a job due to discrimination.
Those are incredible numbers, Ryan. Thank you for tuning in to Obesity News, Oshawa's Best. Good night.
Well, that's a great blooper. Not. Really?
Children have become the first generation to have short life expectancies, and the
Epidemiology. Actually so rattled.
No, I can feel myself like, oh, I'm so tense.
So I noticed you were... Don't!
Good evening, and thank you for joining us. Approximately 1/4 of Canadians... Okay, hold on.
I'm here at the Pickering Town Center with two UOIT ambassadors, Drew and Vic. I said your wrong name. Okay, I'm doing it again. I'm so rattled. Hi, and back to you. The day in front of the television on... Really?
Ass.
Really? Like, I'm actually so rattled.
Continue.
Trying again. Oh, no, that like completely just like took all my attention off.
Bag over there, tried to push her in.
Well, that's a great blooper. Not.